She wakes up, the silence of the morning stretching across her thoughts. The world outside feels like it's moving at its usual pace, yet something is missing. You. The one who once filled up space both physically and emotionally. Now, you're gone, and she's left with the echoes of your presence. It's been days, maybe weeks, since you disappeared. But does time even matter when someone leaves without a trace? When someone vanishes from your life and leaves nothing but an empty space to fill? The Stoics tell us that everything is temporary, that people, circumstances, and even emotions are all fleeting. And in the silence she now finds herself in, the weight of those words might hit harder than any goodbye ever could. What is she supposed to do with this absence? What should she do with the emptiness that fills her days? Well, that's the thing. She has a choice. And so do you. Every thought she has about you is a reflection of what she can control, what she can control about herself, her responses, and how she chooses to let this situation shape her. It's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of what was or what could have been, but Stoic philosophy whispers the same message over and over. You only control your own actions and thoughts. The rest? It's out of your hands. So while she might spend her days wondering about what you're doing, how you feel, or why you disappeared, she can also choose to focus on how she moves forward, how she responds to this silence. And that is where her true power lies. What will she do next? That's the question we all face when life takes unexpected turns. Each day, as the sun rises, she faces a choice. The temptation to dwell in the past, to replay every moment with you in her mind, is strong. The mind naturally gravitates toward attachment, toward the desire to understand, to make sense of the situation. And for a while, she might do just that, wondering if it was something she did, questioning whether she could have done something differently. It's a human instinct to seek answers to the whys. But here's where the Stoics step in. They would remind her that her energy is better spent elsewhere, not in the questions she can't answer, but in the actions she can take. Because, as they say, it's not the event itself that causes distress, it's how we respond to it.
As the days blur into weeks, she begins to notice something subtle but important. She feels lighter, more grounded in herself. There's a sense of clarity that wasn't there before. The absence of you, which once felt like a gaping wound, now feels like a space where she can breathe. The pain hasn't vanished, but it's no longer consuming her. She starts to see things differently, as the Stoics would encourage, through the lens of acceptance. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" she shifts to, "What can I learn from this?" Stoicism teaches us that life is a constant flow of change, and it's not the events themselves that define us, it's how we respond to them. She could choose to carry resentment or bitterness, but that would only chain her to the past. She chooses freedom instead. The more she practices this mindset, the more she realizes that the life she's living now is her own to create. Not just in grand ways, but in the everyday moments. She's no longer waiting for your return or to understand your disappearance. Her energy is directed inward, toward building the life she deserves, not waiting for anyone else to fill the void. Her self-worth is no longer dependent on whether you come back or not. Stoicism teaches that true happiness comes from self-sufficiency, not from external validation or circumstances, and so she embraces this new reality with grace. She begins to trust that everything that happens, even the painful moments, are opportunities for growth. And in this process, she learns one of the most powerful lessons of all, that peace, real peace, isn't about waiting for others to change. It's about finding contentment within herself, regardless of the situation. It's about realizing that she is enough no matter what the world throws her way. With each passing day, she starts to realize something else. She's no longer chasing after a feeling of completeness through someone else. The absence of you, once a source of endless questioning and turmoil, now becomes a quiet reminder of her own resilience. Stoicism teaches that life is about mastering the art of emotional independence. It's about accepting that we cannot control the actions of others, but we can always control how we react to them. And here's where the true shift happens. The thoughts she used to have, those ones that centered on the what-ifs and why-me's, become less frequent. Instead, she begins to focus on what she can build for herself. She's learning that the pain of loss, while real and undeniable, doesn't define her. It's a chapter in her story, not the entire book. The power of Stoic wisdom lies in the ability to separate who we are from what happens to us. Through this shift, she finds herself more compassionate, both toward herself and others. She understands that everyone has their own journey, and not every person we meet is meant to stay forever. Some come to teach us, some come to challenge us, but the important part is how we evolve from those experiences. Her strength now lies not in how much she can control, but in how gracefully she can accept life's unpredictability. The process is gradual. It's not about pretending she doesn't feel the absence or that the hurt isn't there. It's about choosing not to let the hurt control her. She continues to let go of the past, focusing on the now, on what she can do today to become the person she's always had the potential to be. In the quiet of her thoughts, she starts to understand the depth of Stoic wisdom, that the key to peace and fulfillment lies within. It's not in others. It's not in a relationship or an answer that may never come. It's in the choice to embrace the present moment, to take ownership of her own happiness, and to live a life that is truly hers. As she moves forward, she feels a profound sense of peace. The storm of uncertainty has settled, not because the world has changed, but because she has. The truth that the Stoics have always taught, that external events do not define us, has become her reality. The absence of you no longer holds her captive. Instead, it has opened up a space for her to grow, to understand, and to evolve. What she once feared, the unknown, the emptiness, the loss, has transformed into a canvas for her own rebirth. It's no longer about waiting for things to return to the way they were. It's about understanding that the present moment is where her power lies. The thoughts she has, the actions she takes, and the way she chooses to respond to life's challenges are where her strength comes from. In letting go of the past, she's not only released you, but she's also released herself from the chains of dependency, doubt, and regret. She's learned to fill her days with meaning, not because she has to, but because she wants to. She's in control of her own journey, and that's where her freedom begins. And so as the days go by, she no longer asks herself what you're thinking or what might have been. She asks herself only one question: what can I do today to become the best version of myself. That's where her true power lies. That's where her peace resides. She now understands that the only thing she can truly control is her own mind, her own actions, and the way she chooses to move forward. And with that, she walks into the future, not in search of validation from anyone else, but in search of her own happiness, her own growth, and her own peace.